Hey guys, before we jump into this video, I'd like to talk about something just for a moment. So I've been checking out my YouTube channel analytics lately, and it actually shows me about 82% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. If you're not subscribed and you enjoy videos on these military trucks and want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. It would greatly help me in pursuing my goals and dreams on this channel. That's it. Thanks guys. Hope you enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to be stripping the Humvee down, taking all of the lights off it, turn signals, little reflectors, just pretty much getting it ready so that in the next few videos we could sand it down and get it ready for paint. I actually see a lot of people skip this process. It doesn't take too long just to strip everything down instead of taping it all off. And honestly, you get a better result when you're done painting. So first we're going to start off with the little side marker lights. They're pretty easy to get off, and I feel like it's a good starting point. So to remove these first, you have to take the cover off. And to take the cover off, you need to loosen up these two flat heads. And then once you take the cover off with the lens, then you can get to these 4 bolts that are behind all that. This next step is going to require a Phillips screwdriver and a 3/8 wrench. A lot of times I find that these bolts get really rusty and hard to remove, and the Phillips head will actually slip and mess up the bolt head. So then I have to throw on a pair of vice grips and see if I can remove the nut on the back side, and then sometimes it even the bolt shears in half. These 2 front bolts, you have to go in through this little cover that holds all the electrical connections for the lights and turn signals. One good thing about all the Humvee wiring is that everything has like a nice label on it, so it's pretty easy to figure out where each wire goes. Each connector connects into the same number. And on the back side of one of these bolts, it actually has the ground wire. So don't forget to put that back on when you install the new lights, otherwise your lights won't work. Moving on to the next component, we are taking off the little reflector. The front has these little amber reflectors, and I believe the socket you're going to need is a 7/16. Pretty much all of these I've had the same issue where the Phillips head on the front will actually strip. So then I have to take some vice grips and see if I could take it off like that. A lot of times after I'm done painting a Humvee and I have to replace all the components on there, I like to use stainless hardware just so that the whole rust issue isn't a problem next time I have to go take something off. Now that I got off the little reflector, I'm going to move over to the turn signal lights. Now if you look inside the little bucket that houses all the electrical connections, there is 2 bolts at the very bottom or the very front. And those are the 2 bolts that are holding on the actual turn signal lights. So we're going to remove those, and we actually need a 9/16 socket for this. So how this goes, there's actually this little piece of metal that goes in the back, and then you have the bolts that go through it. Ah shit. Anyways,
bolts go through it on each side, and a ground gets connected to the back of one of the bolts. And I'm pretty sure that this bar just allows the ground to go through each bolt.
Next, moving on to this little blackout light. This is the blackout driving light that is in between the driver's side turn signal and the driver's side headlight. This just has one bolt holding the whole thing on.
How this goes together, this little thing goes right there. And you have like this thick circular washer, then the lock washer, and then the nut. And also the ground goes in between here in this little metal like plate.
Removing the headlights is pretty simple. Right here I'm actually removing the entire headlight bucket. I find it easier that way, and you could paint around all that a lot easier as well. Pretty much just removing 3 nuts on the back of here, and then removing the 3 wires that connect into the back of the bucket. We're pretty much just going to do the same exact thing on the other side. There is so much sand in all of this. Alright, now the front end is all stripped, we're going to move on to the rear. So I'm going to disconnect all the wiring back here before I go ahead and start removing some of the components. All the wiring connectors for the tail lights and the rear side marker lights are behind these 2 little covers, one on each side. Just take off the 2 7/16 bolts holding the covers on, then you could remove the clips that are holding all the wiring connectors, and then you could take the wiring connectors apart. Sometimes these taillights are a little bit stuck in the housings. You might have to do a little bit of pulling and stick your finger in through the back and try to push it out through that. It's just crazy how much like dust and desert sand is stuck behind all of these components. It's just crazy how much like dust and desert sand is stuck behind all of these components. Now the whole exterior of the Humvee is pretty much all stripped. We're gonna go ahead and start working on the body work in the next few videos. I really wanna get these hoods all taken care of. This one especially has a lot of hood damage, so we're gonna get cracking on that, and I guess the next few videos are gonna be fixing the hood and then sanding the whole truck down and preparing it for paint.